a weekly show where we discuss self-help strategies, pop culture, music, fashion, education, and how it all links to financial success. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and on YouTube at Talk to Him J. And of course, I'm your host. My name is James Levesque. Talk to him. Vibe with me, vibe with me, vibe with me. All right, so we have an amazing guest in the studio with us today. She is absolutely a force to be reckoned with in the fashion industry, and she's just out here doing her thing. We have Miss Zonia Campbell live in the studio with us today. Zonia, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing phenomenal, yo. I'm
good.
doing phenomenal. You can relax, yo. You got a vibe over here. You don't have to keep your hands crossed, you know.
All right.
You
I'll
know?
try not to.
Absolutely. Well, you look great.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. So let me ask you this. How did you get into the retail and fashion industry?
I would say that it happened by accident.
Yeah.
I was in school for psychology, and I always knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur and open up my own business. But at that age, I didn't know what entrepreneurship was because, you know, I grew up in a Caribbean family household, and they were more focused on education versus, you know, following your dreams, and they didn't know nothing about that stuff. So I was in school to please my mom, and because she wanted me to become a doctor.
Yeah.
And so I was in school, and I was like, okay, I'll go to school to try to become a doctor, but I don't want to do medical doctor. What can I do in college and still be a doctor? And psychology was one of them. So my purpose for doing psychology was to get my doctorate degree.
Yeah.
But while I was a freshman in college, I opened up a little like business, a jewelry business. And I used to do like the Boston fairs and carnivals and stuff as a vendor selling jewelry and stuff.
Okay. How old were you at that time? Like.
I was like 22.
Okay.
22, 23. Yes. And so, you know, I was out selling jewelry, and one day this young lady, she was looking for a vendor or vendors to be a part of her fashion show she was throwing.
Yeah.
And so she came up to my booth, gave me her card, and I called her afterwards because, you know, at that time I was hungry for the money.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so I decided to call her. I was one of the vendors, and then while she was throwing the show, I had my little cousin with me at the time, so I had her manage my booth. And then I went and watched the fashion show.
Okay.
And then I asked her a few questions about what was happening. And then she told me that, you know, these were local designers from Boston who, you know, created their own designs and garments and stuff. And then, you know, there's a lot of fashion shows that happens throughout Boston. Something that I didn't know about because I grew up in Natick. So, you know, I was closed off from the city world and stuff. So, so I asked her, how do you enter? She told me. I went home. Bought a sewing machine.
Wow.
Yes, bought a sewing machine, practiced for like 2 weeks, called her, entered myself into her next fashion show, and that's where history started writing itself.
Wow, that's so crazy. There's a lot of questions that I have. Yo, so you said that you're from the Caribbean. Where at in the Caribbean?
Jamaica.
Jamaica. Okay. Wow. Okay. No, that's really because a lot of times, you know, parents, because I'm of Haitian background, a lot of times.
My stepdad is Haitian.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
So a lot of times with Haitians we have, or Caribbean people, there's a big focus on education. You know what I mean? You got to go to school. Got it for you to get a good job.
Yeah.
All these different things, right? So, like, when you told them like this is the route that you're going to take, how was that? How did you navigate through that?
Well, I know exactly what you're talking about because, like, you know what it is they came here from their country for an opportunity. And the opportunity is that, you know, they're not able to, like, really get that education back home like they are here. So I think that's why they're so focused on that.
True.
And they're also taught that, you know, becoming a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse,
that's the success.
that's where the success really lies. And they don't know anything about following your dreams, and if you see that your child has a talent and something to push them forward to pursuing that, they weren't taught that. You know, they were taught to provide.
For real.
You know, and so for me, I think that I've always, because I started like doing my own stuff at 15. I was doing hair. You know,
Okay.
at Natick High School, I was in the hallway
Yeah.
braiding all the basketball players' hair.
Really?
Yeah, the football players' hair, and they would pay me and stuff. Yeah, so, and I worked in a hair salon at like
Okay.
18. I got my first real job at 18 because my parents didn't want me to work while I was, you know, younger and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I had to even hide and do that.
Yeah.
You know, so they didn't really understood what I was doing until now.
Right.
Now that they've seen the growth and actually what I can really do and the actual success that I'm getting out of it, now they really believe in it. But when I was younger, when I first started, they supported me the best of the way that they could, but now they're really like, keep going,
You
you know,
go,
yeah.
They see the vision now.
Yeah, and they see the vision now.
Yo, so okay, so you bought your first sewing machine,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, did you already know how to sew? Did
Nothing.
you watch YouTube? How did you?
Yeah, so-
how did you get that education to like yo, be
YouTube.
able to- Really?
Yes, I bought a sewing machine. I watched YouTube for 2 weeks.
Really?
Yes.
So you didn't go to like no fashion school? or
No,
nothing
I
like
did
that?
not.
Wow, that's so crazy. I would have think like you went to a fashion school. You already just. You just
No, I
watched
didn't.
YouTube.
I didn't know nothing. I knew how to like sew a button on a shirt
Wow.
if it came off the
Yeah.
shirt, not like lining it up and putting it on from scratch. But yeah, my first collection compared to what I can do now,
Yeah.
you can see the difference. But over time, I've learned new skills
Yeah.
because of mistakes, and also too, just having that vision. Like I think I can create anything I really want to.
Yeah.
I just have to really like focus on it and study it
Yeah.
to be able to do it.
How do you know like what looks good on somebody? You know what I mean? Like as a designer, like you'd be like, oh, yo, that look kind of fly on her right here.
So I know we'll be talking about this later on with models and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But when I go to like casting calls, I don't know, based on how they walk, skin tone plays a big part for color.
Yeah.
I automatically envision the dress on that model, and I'm like, oh, I think she will look good in that, and so that's how I usually do it.
Who's some of your favorite designers? Johnny Campbell.
Yes. It's funny because I've never been a designer like
Yeah.
hype type of person.
Yeah.
I just lately, like last 2 years, got into designer stuff.
No,
But
yeah.
I've never been that type of person.
Really? Yo, so I mean, I look at some of your pieces, man, and they fly. You know what I
Thank
mean?
you.
Like they do. You have beautiful dresses for women, but also what about men as well too? Do you start making like any suits for guys or anything like that?
People
No?
keep asking me that.
Yeah.
I haven't. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm drawing a blank. I can't think of it right now. But I haven't decided to go in that route yet.
Yeah.
Because guys, their bodies are shaped different.
Yeah.
Women, we have curves and
Yeah.
all that. You guys are like a box.
Really?
Almost.
Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's different, and it's a little bit more work.
Yeah.
And right now I'm still mastering women's stuff.
Yeah.
So I think for me, once my business grows, that's something that I'm open to
Yeah.
actually adding onto my line. But I probably would find someone who has more expertise in that area to work on something like that
Alright,
versus me doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in learning it.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you. So let me ask you this: how do you come up, right, with like, all right, somebody asks you to do a dress for them, you get the material, you whoop-de-whoop, do what you do with it, put it all together. How do you come up with like a price point that you're gonna sell this person this dress, or you're gonna put it out there for?
Fabric.
Yeah.
Not all fabric is created equal. So
Really?
some are more expensive than others. It depends on the look that you want. If you notice, like if you go into the store, certain fabric, you can feel them. If it's like really thin, it's more on the cheaper side versus a quality, like maybe a Louis Vuitton or something like that. Like they charge, and I had to like really realize why they charge so much is because they're spending more money and on quality. So yeah, so fabric plays a part, and then the labor that I actually have to put into it
Yeah.
plays a big part as well.
So that's why, like, let's say different brands like, I don't know, Louis Vuitton or Gucci or all these different high price end brands, that's why they put their prices at that certain point, or also is that their brand? You know what I'm saying? Because if you put it too low,
Both of them plays a part.
really,
Yeah, they feel like that's what they're worth. But stitching plays a part too. If you look at it like, I think Louis Vuitton stitching is very like really,
Unique.
yeah, it's very different. It's good. Their stuff lasts a long time.
Yeah.
It doesn't rip easy.
Yeah.
Versus something that you may buy at a cheaper store that you can only wear it maybe once or twice,
Yeah.
and then throw it away.
Okay.
It's like the other day, for example, my friend, she bought a pair of shoes, and we were looking at two different pairs of shoes, and you can see the poor quality on one of the shoes, but they still priced it high. She didn't think it was worth that
Yeah.
because it was like peeling and all that other stuff, versus the other one, you can tell that it was made with better quality and time.
So how do you know though? You know what I mean? There's so much stuff out there. You know what I mean? There's so much to choose from. Let's say you go to the store. See, I'm the type of person, like, although, I feel like I make things look pretty good. You know what I mean? Depending on, how you gonna swag it, But like, how do you know, like, oh, this is the good stuff right here? Because is it price or is it the quality?
It's the
You know?
quality.
Okay.
Pricing is not always the reason why something is, better than the next.
Yeah.
Something could be cheaper and it still be better quality than something that's priced higher.
So all right, let me ask you this though, right?
I think it's also preference too.
What do you mean? Like, you want to spend more money or you want
I like Louis Vuitton and I'm paying for Louis Vuitton.
Okay.
Some people, they're just stuck in what they like and that's what it is,
All right, this actually leads towards my other question, right? Because I'm a watcher. I watch people. I watch women. I watch men, children. I watch everybody, right? I always see a lot of times with women handbags, right? Handbags. Girls just be wearing their handbags. I always have like, are handbags? Is that like considered like a status symbol for women? You know what I mean? Because you could get a bag anywhere. You could go to Walmart, you can go to wherever and get a bag anywhere. But sometimes a girl will have a Coach bag or a Louis Vuitton bag or what's that called, a Birkin bag, which goes for like 10 stacks. Pretty high money now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, is that like a status symbol for women? You know what I mean? Just your opinion. I just want to know. What do you think?
That's a good question. I don't know if I don't know. I can't speak for other women.
All right, speak for yourself.
Okay. For me,
So if you have, okay, right?
so I have a couple of Louis Vuittons and I hardly wear them. It's just like, it's this there.
Yeah.
I have one that I wear on a regular, but it's about the quality. I think it's a nice purse, but I can rock any purse and still feel just as great wearing a Louis Vuitton as I feel wearing a cheaper purse.
So it's what you are inside.
Yeah, I think what you wear and what you carry and how much money you have in the bank doesn't really make you as an individual. It's who you truly are. So some people, they carry those things around because it makes them feel important, but that's because there's a void that they're trying to cover on the inside,
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. So you are Louis Vuitton on the inside of you. That high quality brand.
Yeah, anything I wear,
You feeling?
I still feel like I'm expensive.
Absolutely.
It's not about the outer appearance.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, right? The reason why I asked about the bag is because, I'm in financial services, right? I'm in finances, and I always think, okay, if I buy a bag for like $10,000, maybe it's like 10 years ago or 5 years ago. Now, can I resell that on the market?
Yeah, there are some. Yeah, like Chanel, they don't depreciate really much. Yeah, there are some bags that, even some Louis Vuittons, you can. There are the higher designers. A lot of them, you can resell them back for a good price and still make your money back.
Really? And more?
If it's an item that has been discontinued and is still like wanted by a lot of people, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know that. Yeah. I didn't know that. That's like totally.
And I only recently learned that because I
Really?
just got into the designer stuff.
So are you flipping bags? So would
No,
you
not-
flip bags? I would flip some bags. What?
I don't think I have enough to flip.
So let me ask you this, right? What does fashion mean to Zania Camper? What is fashion to you?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
What is fashion to me? Fashion is self-expression.
Yeah.
It's basically an image of who you are to the world. You know, I love dressing up.
Yeah.
I love, look at my shoes.
I see them. Those are fly.
You know,
Yeah. those are fly.
yeah, and this is who I am.
Yeah.
You know, it's where I'm at the most authentic version of myself, and it tells a story of who I am.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what fashion is to me, really.
Yeah, I definitely agree. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of times it's really about what you're wearing, you know what I mean? But how it is that you're expressing yourself towards that. You know what I mean? How it is that. Let me ask you this then. Okay, let's say you're getting dressed, right? You're getting dressed. And I always wanted to know this about women a lot of times. You're getting dressed. Are you dressing for yourself? Are you dressing for other women? Or are you dressing for your significant other?
That's a good
Yeah,
question
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I never dress for other women.
No?
No.
Okay, the reason why I asked that, there's a reason why I asked that, right? Because I feel like there's like competition between women.
I don't compete with people. I don't compete with my friends. So we don't have to compete because we're all unique in our own way.
It is. I'm gonna say, I see that's the proper answer. You know what I mean? That's a great answer.
Well, we all have our own style.
Right.
If somebody's competing with me as my friend, then we need to figure out what the real issue is. You know?
But okay, even if they're not your friend, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you have like your crew that you rock out with, you boo, 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 right? But now, let's say you go out, you know what I mean? You know, other people, other girls is looking at other girls as well too.
Yeah.
You know, not only that, but other guys is looking at you. You know what I mean? Like my question is like when you putting your outfit together, right?
I when I'm dressing, I'm never dressing because I'm trying to like seek attention. I dress for myself.
Really?
Because this is who I am. This is my style.
Yeah.
You know, so I never. But the other one, it depends. Like if I'm in a relationship where I really care about the person and stuff like that, and they've voiced to me like, "Oh, I love you in this color," or I like this or whatever.
Yeah.
I will, if I'm going out with that person.
Yeah.
Make that exception to, put on a nice dress that person may like, or a color or whatever.
Yeah.
So I will do that to please that person. But as far as like the general population, no, I just dress for me.
I feel you though. He's so proper though. He's so proper. You got a hair, stuff, everything. You feel me? Let me ask you this, okay? Like, like how. All right, you mentioned that you're significant other, or if you're getting dressed for, let's say somebody who is you looking for, what do you have in your life to kind of like match you, or do you looking for somebody who's kind of like on the same wave, who can teach you something, or what kind of person are you looking for? Or do you have already? You know what I'm saying? Not saying.
So for me, while out in the dating world,
Yeah.
I'm looking for someone who can match my energy.
Yeah.
A lot of times I feel like women, we get into these relationships and we feel like we have to put ourselves in these boxes.
Yeah.
And conform to the lifestyle of someone else, not realizing that we also have our own purpose and our own vision for our own lives that we have to pursue because that's why we're here. And so I would want to have someone, which I do have, to be able to, we help each other to get to that end goal.
Yeah.
It's not about competing against each other. It's not about who's better. It's about the vision and reaching the end goal to accomplishing that vision. And I can learn from him, he can learn from me. We can teach each other, we can grow with each other, we can build with each other. It's about love, peace, harmony, and all that other stuff,
So, would he have to be in like the fashion world or like any other industry?
I find that someone who has commonality within what you're doing, not necessarily, doesn't have to necessarily be, but he could be in business and he could teach me some stuff about that. He's seeing that I'm doing that's wrong, you know, but we can, because that's how we're going to be able to build like a strong communication, like communication around our business and what we're doing together. I can't talk to somebody that doesn't have any interest in what I'm doing, or, you know, there has to at least be some interest there.
Yeah, it can't be a bum out here. Rocket was on your camera. It can't be a bum, you know?
I mean, a bum, as long as he's willing to elevate. No. There are some bums out here that don't want to elevate.
That is true. You know what I mean?
You know?
That is true. Let me ask you this. In your opinion, which celebrities have a great sense of style that you could think of off the top of your head?
I like Beyonce's style.
Beyonce.
I like her style because I feel like she dresses for her personality.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I can see a lot of her style in me, too, you know?
I see that. I see the Beyonce type vibes, you know?
And who else do I like?
Okay, you gave me one for women. What about men?
Men. I don't know.
Idris?
Who?
Idris Elba? Nah.
I'm not that type of girl, though.
No.
I mean, he's handsome, but you know.
Like like let's say somebody like you're like, yo, I like how he.
Okay, maybe
put this
let me
outfit
see.
Together, you know.
Who? I mean, going back, I guess back in the days, like Morris Chestnut.
Morris Chestnut.
Yeah.
Okay.
He dresses. Yeah, he dresses nice too.
Do they gotta be in a suit?
No.
Okay.
No. I don't know.
See, I'll make you think over here.
I know you're making me think today.
I'm making you think, man. So let me ask you this, right? Explain like explain your process when it comes to selecting fabrics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. A lot of times I get the vision in my head of what I want to make.
Yeah.
And then I think about like what kind of fabric I could use to make that. And then I go and search for the fabric. Now, there are times when I go to the fabric store and the fabric speaks to me. So it tells me what it wants it to make. Yeah. And because I have a lot of fabric at home and they're expensive fabric.
Yeah.
But if they haven't I haven't felt connected with the fabric, then I'm not cutting it. Because if I cut it and I do something stupid, I gotta throw it away. And then I wasted, So I usually
How often does that happen?
I have a lot of fabric. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I have a lot of beautiful fabric, but I just won't cut it because I haven't felt the connection of what I want to make with it yet to touch it.
I feel
But I literally, like a lot of times I go into the fabric store, I usually know what I'm looking for.
Yeah. You know what time it is right now? It's trivia time, okay? We're going to test
Please don't.
Zanya's trivia, okay? So, she said she was from Natick. Let's test her hood skills.
Oh my God.
If Tommy has 5 stacks.
Tommy,
If Tommy has 5 stacks.
Uh-huh.
How much money does Tommy have?
$5,000.
Oh, okay. All right, okay, here we go. That was a good one. That was an easy one, all right? The movie Boys in the Hood takes place in which geographic location?
Oh my gosh. I want to say Chicago.
Chicago.
California.
Yes,
Oh,
but where at though? Where at California?
San Francisco.
No. San Francisco.
No.
It is. You give up?
No.
Okay, give me another one.
So it's California, right?
Yes, it's California. Los Angeles, California. Which one?
I know this because I've seen this movie
Yeah,
before.
you know you've seen it. I know you was out there in Natick.
Please delete the last.
San Francisco. Boys in the Hood in San Francisco.
Oh my gosh, California. We're in California.
SC.
You said SC?
I'll give you the initials. SC.
Okay, where? Tell me.
South Central, Zion.
South Central. Okay.
South Central. Come on, South Central. Come on,
Oh,
there was no hood dudes running around in San Francisco. Alright? There was none of that. Ricky was out here running. Okay. All right.
Oh my
Let
gosh.
me ask you this.
forgive me.
It's all good. Tell me about your experience working with, let's say, models, and other professionals in the industry.
My experience with working with
so
models.
far. Yeah, like how has that been? You know what I mean? Like, let's say if you got a show and you got to dress certain people, like how's that experience for you?
Well, most fashion shows that I've done so far, they provide us with the models. So usually I don't have to look for models, but I have done a few fashion shows where I've had to look for models. That can be tricky because something could happen last minute and then they cancel, and then that's on you.
Yeah.
What you're trying to do. It kind of sets you back.
Yeah. Has that ever happened?
Oh yeah.
What do you do? Like, let's say if you have a model coming through, you already measured them.
I
everything,
know.
like,
It did happen to me before. You see how I rolled my eyes? It did happen. Well, thankfully, the other model could fit into it, so they did like a quick swap. So I would have her go first, and then she would run back and just jump into the next dress.
Yeah. Oh, damn. That's crazy.
It happens all the time. It's part of the industry.
Well, that's really not very professional, what I mean? Because, you ruin a lot of names. I mean, that's just bad for business. You know what I mean? It's just not a good look, All right, we're going to go into our sponsors right now. And big shout out to the good folks over at Shop Talk to them. Their Instagram handle is SHOPTALK, the number 2EM. And of course, Green to Clean LTD, and that's at Green to Clean LTD. And Community Capital Gains, CCG, and their Instagram handle is CCG Gains, and that's the number 2. And of course, Eats with Ree. All right, so let's get back over here with Ms. Zanya Campbell. So let me ask you this. In your opinion, right, what are some of important skills that a fashion designer should have? Because I'm definitely thinking you got to be able to quick think on your feet. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't have one model, quick thinking. What are some of just some skills that a fashion designer is
You have to have vision.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think you can design without a vision. And I thought that everyone had vision, but what I've learned is that, what I can see, other people's can't. So someone might see a fabric lying on the table and they could not think of what they could ever make with it, whereas I see that same fabric and it just told me exactly what to make.
Yeah. How do you come up with your vision? Do you have a vision wall, or you put together a vision board or anything like that?
Sometimes I might see something on Instagram and I'm like, I'm gonna remake this in a different way, put my twist to it.
Yeah.
And stuff. But so that's one thing I think that you have to have.
Vision.
Creativity that goes with the vision. Creativity. If you're doing it as an entrepreneur, you have to have strong work ethics.
Yeah.
You have to believe in yourself 100%, because there isn't any business that happens overnight, and you will fail a lot. Or not, I wouldn't say fail, make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you have to be strong enough to continue even through adversity.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you have to have the will to keep going.
For real.
Yeah, determination. And have a why on why you start. A lot of people start businesses or things like that because they saw someone else doing it.
Yeah.
And then when they stumble upon these roadblocks, they want to quit.
Yeah.
Because they never had a reason why they started in the first place.
What's your why, if you don't mind me asking?
My why is, my why to becoming an entrepreneur was to show my family that there is more to life than working a 9-to-5. That God placed in us talents and visions, and you know, they may not have been able to push us towards that.
Yeah.
But for me, when I become a parent, if I see that my child has some type of gift, I'm going to make sure that they, you know, pursue that to the best. Even if they want to go to college, that's fine. But, you know?
Yeah, no, you nurture that. That's, I like that.
And then also to provide, hopefully, you know, to get to the level of success that, you know, my family, my parents, because they've done a lot for us, me and my stepbrother,
Yeah.
they've done a lot for us to be able to give back to them, you know, help them live what America is really all about and not a slave in this country,
No, absolutely.
you know.
Absolutely. Let's say 5 years from now, right? Where do you see yourself? Where do you see your brand? Where do you see? I'm sorry, your company. You know what I mean? Where do you see it? Where do you see it from?
5 years from now, I'm hoping to at least have one store
Yeah.
front open. I also am hoping to be, you know, right now I do make clothes for other people out of the state, so I'm hoping that that continues. And then I'm also hoping to get into real estate and, you know, all that stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. So you really like the complete businesswoman.
Yes.
You're not just out here just doing dresses. You
No,
out here
I do a lot.
Yeah. No, that's what's
I
up,
do a
man.
lot.
I respect that, man. I respect that a lot.
So, like, my 9 to 5, I do have a 9 to 5
Okay, yeah.
because it funds my dream,
Yeah,
you know,
no,
right
that's-
now. Yes, so I'm a social worker.
So, okay, let me ask you this, right? Because I always feel like a lot of times entrepreneurship has become like the popular thing, right? And everybody's an entrepreneur and everybody's an entrepreneur. Like, what's wrong with working a 9 to 5? You know what I mean? Especially if you like it. Do you enjoy being a social worker?
I do. I'm at the point where I'm ready to, you know, yeah. But I did love it.
You did? How long have you was like
I've been 8 years.
8 years? Wow. So is that something that like, okay, like when do you know like it's time to like let go of it and then just continue on to, you know, like-
Something else?
Yeah, no, on the road that you're going into.
I
Because it's
think-
time that you got to put into that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think when I've reached a level of not being able to learn anything else, my mind is always constantly working and learning and all that other stuff. And when I become stagnant, then I become bored. Yes. So if I'm not learning anymore, it's not growing me in any type of way, then I know that it's time
Yeah.
to kind of move on to the
Yeah.
next, you know, thing. And also too, I feel like being a social, because I'm a supervisor, so I've learned a lot. Like it's taught me a lot, especially being a supervisor, how to delegate, because I'm usually the type of person to just do everything myself.
Yeah.
But I've learned how to delegate, how to, you know, not be a boss, but a mentor to those under me
Yeah.
and stuff, and teamwork.
Does that help you in your business as well too?
It does.
Yeah.
That's very important.
Because I think, like, you know, as a fashion designer or designer, like, you know, you got to be able to maneuver people around
Delegate,
and to
yeah.
delegate certain things. Are you like a bossy person? Like,
I'm actually not.
really?
I'm not. I hate micromanaging people.
Nah.
No, I feel like, okay, you should know the work.
Yeah.
I'm going to teach it to you the best of my ability. Just do it. I don't want to have to micromanage anyone because that takes away time from me, what I got to do,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I'm not a bossy person at all. I like to see people grow.
Yeah.
I like to encourage people and stuff like that. So that's usually the energy that I carry.
Yeah. Man, I love your energy, yo. I think
Thank you.
I believe you about to do some amazing things, yo. You know what I mean?
I do
And,
plan to.
I'm really excited for you.
Thank you.
You know, and you fly. You doing your thing.
Thank you.
How can people get in touch with you? You know what I mean? Let's say if they want to order something or if they want to look at some of your pieces, like how do they reach out to you?
They can find me on Instagram at Zonya Campbell.
Sonia.
Yes. I'm also on Facebook, same thing, Zonya Campbell.
Okay.
I have a website, it's zonyacampbell.com.
Sonia Campbell.
Yes. For like gowns, wedding dresses and stuff,
Yeah.
there is a tab there for consultation. And then I also have like a retail side where you can just buy regular things that's already made.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. That's ZoniaCampbell.com. You heard it, folks. Let me see. Nah, man, I think this is, in the words of my man Richard Nastasi, when the painting is done, put the brush down. You know what I mean? This is phenomenal. Thank you so much for pulling up.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning in. People on Instagram, Facebook. Oh wow, I don't even pay attention to a couple people. I was out right now. All right.
Do you have questions?
Yeah, I don't know if they did it right. You know what I mean? But I was trying to knock this out. You know. So thank you so much for tuning in, for vibing with us. Live, love, light. I'll holla. Peace and blessings.
Bye.